if this is all working. This is an experiment today, so hopefully it goes well. And we are live on both. I'm excited. This is kind of interesting. I wish you could see the cameras on the other side where I'm looking, because I got the two monitors and such. Yeah, let's check it out. Let's see what's up. This is kind of cool. All right. I'm going to start this off. Just get some drumming to warm up, and then we're going to get it into some blast beats today. I'm very excited. I like blast beats. They're fun. Get a kick out of them. They're energetic. They keep you alive. They keep you young. I'm getting up there, and I'm like 40 this year. Damn. All right, what's up, everyone? Once again, my name's Chad Peters, and thank you for joining me on the Xgroove live stream. We're going to talk about blast beats today. Serge, which stream are you watching, dude? Are you watching the shorts, or are you watching the long form? I'm really warmed up for blast beats. I've been like kind of getting warmed up for the last hour, just kind of just. That's cool, man. I'm glad it's working. That's what I wanted to see. So yeah, I'm just trying to get that into the shorts feed, and it's kind of like a new thing I'm trying. I heard it gets a lot of, you get pushed to a lot of people that way. So yeah, I'm trying to check that out. So I basically have two chats going on because it's interesting how it actually works. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So I got two chats, two setups, a lot of stuff going on. All right, Serge, but I know you're going to like this lesson today. We're going to get into blast beats. I'm going to go over the traditional blast beat and some variations that we can put over it to kind of take it out of the monotony of the typical just, right? I wonder how fast I'm going to slow that down just a tiny bit. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to go over a few variations, how we could just play the traditional one, a few different footwork ideas, and how we can kind of break that in and drop it into a groove and really kind of make it musical as well. So, all right, let's get to it. Let me switch this up. I got. Oh no, so we had to go. We had to go top only sheet music. There we go. All right. Let's check this out. Watch this. Give me 1 second to switch these over. That's some stuff I got to work out. Some just trying to get this all situated. It's like a lot of stuff with the OBS software. Like I said, I got 2 different things going on basically. So there you go. Got the shorts feed. Got that. There's ways to connect them, but I didn't have time. I just wanted to kind of roughly give this a shot and see it actually implement and work in action and all that stuff. So, all right. So we're using Photoshop here. I like it because I can kind of do some editing and such, but typically with a blast beat, I'm going to reference a metal thrash beat for the idea because we're going to play. If we look at it, we have up here, we have 1/8 notes. Hang on 1 second. Let me get my brush tool. Okay. So if we look at it, we're playing an alternating pattern between the hand and foot and then the other hand, right? So we got the hi-hat and kick drum playing together, and then right here, and then we have the snare drum playing on its own, right? And it's just going to repeat the whole way through the same pattern, the alternating idea, right? So that's a typical thrash beat. You've heard it in a lot of metal, in punk and whatnot, and it just goes like this. Right? So, to me, learning a thrash beat is like the basics of a blast beat because you need to know how to play that at a slower pace because when we go into blast beats, we're going to push it up to 16th notes instead of playing that 8th note pattern. So, because that's such a simple idea, we're just going to push it right to that traditional blast, okay? It's the same idea. We have the hi-hat, or you could use your ride cymbal and your kick drum together, right? Then you have your snare drum on the 16th note positions, right? So 8th note positions are the hi-hat and kick drum. And then on the 16th note positions, you have your snare drum. So 1, E, and okay? So, like I said, the reason why learning the thrash beat at a nice is because the blast beat is just that doubled up. All right. So that is the traditional blast beat. And there's 2 ways to go about this. With this one, you could see that the kick drum is on the single. Hold on. Where we go? Hang on. So you could see that the kick drum is on this. We're playing a single kick drum on the lower part of the staff, the last spacing in the staff, okay? Now, for an alternating foot pattern, we can go like this. We have your main kick on the right, and then you have your left kick right here on the last line of the staff, okay? So this is going to be an alternating foot pattern playing 8th notes instead of, we're going to, okay? I do feel that this is an easier blast beat to play as far as it takes the weight off of your feet and having to constantly be tapping. Your foot will get burned out, especially at high tempos. So there is an ease to this one, but the only difference is I feel like it's harder to get the alternating flow at these at slower tempos because your feet are kind of up in higher motions and they got to play in with the. So I'll demonstrate it, and I'm going to try to stay on, too, because when I'm playing this one, sometimes you'll kind of feel that fall in between the pockets, okay? So let's check this out real quick. Okay, I feel like you got to get a nice balance with that so that it's nice and smooth and such, okay? We could do it on the ride cymbal as well. Okay. So really cool. And I like to, and funny enough, with that traditional blast beat, if I don't give some kind of accent on my hand or foot, with the alternation and the really loud snare, I tend to fall off the downbeat, and I kind of, my ear starts to switch to the blast or to the snare drum. So if you have that issue, it's pretty common, and I've seen it with even professional musicians where that upbeat thrash, like when they're doing, I've seen people fall off and their ear starts catching that downbeat as well. Okay, so don't be. So if your ear's falling off on the traditional blast and you're losing the downbeat, try to find something to accent on, whether it's the bell or a crash cymbal or something like that, okay? And like I said, I do feel that a little bit of an not such a hard blasting snare kind of gives a little smoother feel to it because you get that groove aspect, okay? So I do recommend playing the single foot one for the traditional blast when you can get it to a tempo that's comfortable, because there's a smoothness to that one. Like I said, I don't know if that was pretty smooth. Hang on. Okay, I think it has a nice alternating feel. Your body can get into that nice shifty motion. But the reason I like the alternating one is for the next part of the lesson, and that is putting rhythm underneath the blast beat, okay? So our hands are still playing the 16th note pattern here at the top, if you can see that, right? But we switched the feet up a little bit, and we're playing a 6-stroke roll, basically. So we're going 4/16ths and 2/8, like this. Okay? So it gives a little bit more rhythmatic feel to the blast beat, and you can kind of get creative with this too, but it takes a little more balance to get this all to kind of sit together in a nice pocket, okay? So if your guitar player is doing something really cool and you want to blast beat it, you can actually kind of hook onto the rhythm while still blasting, and then I'm going to show you something kind of cool to do with it after this. So I'll demonstrate this, and then I'll show you what to do with rhythms. So check this one out. I'll do that one more time. Yeah, Serge, I feel you, because, I mean, funny enough, even on my computer, when I'm watching the YouTube window with my stream live, I got a delay in my own room, you know, considering, and it's like actually a good like 2 or 3 second delay, so I can only imagine you have a huge delay over there. And like you said, I know you got the subtitles for Russian and stuff, so no worries, man. I know you're there, so, and I appreciate you always sticking around and watching the stream and stuff, dude. So I hope you're learning as well, and like I said, you got any questions with anything, feel free. I'll break it down further and further. I enjoy doing this, so. But let's play that one more time. I'm gonna play it. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Is it's hard to hear the kick drum over this hi-hat. Sorry, you can't even see that. These are very dull hi-hats. I like them for the footwork stuff I do, or close. Okay, I like it for that, but when it comes to like playing open, it's not my favorite, but I have these higher ones over here. I would say those would fit the metal style a little better. They're a little brighter and crisper. And when I'm doing this rhythmatic blast beat or playing it on the ride, you'll get the kick drums to cut through a little bit more because it's not mixing with the frequency of this one. So let me try this six-stroke blast beat again, then we'll move on. Yeah, dude, try it, man. It's a really cool idea. You can kind of get the idea over a snare drum for clarity of sound, like going like this. you can work it on the snare drum for like just a kind of a smooth centered feel. But I'm gonna do that same thing right here on the ride for a little bit cut. Let's check it out. I'm trying to figure out where that ended. No, I had that right. For some reason it sounded weird. It's hard to keep your ear on that, by the way. I'm telling you, blast beats are a strange one. Like I said, a lot of times I'll soften my snare hit and almost kind of, it's not a ghost note, but it's a little bit lighter. Just, it's more of like this fluffiness underneath, so you're getting that pounding of the kick drums, but that fluff of the snare is creating that like hiss underneath it. So it's not crazy brutal, but you get a little more color and rhythmatic sound out of it and such. So I'm trying to see 1 second. I don't even know it's that one. Okay. All right, so let's try that one last time, and then we're gonna break that. Okay, so actually, I'll just get into it. What I'm gonna show you now is we're gonna take that rhythmatic kick drum that you're doing, right? So if you, hold on, I don't have some. Oh, I got you, dude. Not so yeah, sometimes, but is it interpreting for you? Is that what that's doing, right? Or what do they call it? Overdubbing. But so what I'm going to show you now with this blast beat and playing rhythms is, like I said, if you're good, you can get more out of a rhythm this way instead of having to change to something new every time. So if your guitar player is playing the 16th or the 6-stroke roll rhythm on his guitar, and you're blasting over it, what we could do is blast for 4, and then we could drop it into a backbeat and. Okay, so I'll demonstrate that real quick. I'm gonna try to see, should I do trying to adjust my hi-hat real quick for this. All right, let's try that. Yeah, I like the hi-hat. I just had to adjust it real quick. But so 6-stroke roll underneath the blast beat, and we're kind of going to drop it with a little fill and go into a backbeat and really kind of riff it. I feel like I got to do that one again. Like I started trying some stuff and fell off with my own stuff, but it's kind of like improvising right now. Just kind of coming up with ideas on the spot there. So let's try that again because I thought it sounded pretty freaking badass. All right. One more. We're playing about 185, so it's not crazy fast, but it's got a nice punch to it. All right, I thought that one sounded pretty cool. But if you see what I mean, you could take, basically just taking that same kick drum rhythm, okay, and then we're just going to take the blast beat out of it and put a straight 2 and 4 backbeat on it. And you really get a lot of use out of the same idea, okay? And you could do a lot of different things. You can almost even thrash beat over that 6-stroke roll idea too. 3s, and then I kind of got into an accent feel. Okay, so pretty cool ideas. So I'm going to putz around for a minute on the drums, do a little drum solo, try to incorporate some blast beat ideas, and kind of like I use them in a little bit more of a groove context versus, yes, I'm going to get into the next, after I do this drumming surge, I'm going to talk about the hammer blast, or I'm assuming that's what you mean by the bomb blast, is a, right? Because that one, to me, it's very easy to play, not necessarily like speed-wise, but coordination-wise, it's just everything smashing the drums together. So I will get into that real quick. Let's just do a little quick jam out and see what's up. Switch. All right. Again, I use a little bit of like blast beat ideas in what I do, and I'll actually put some 4-pedal stuff over it and see what we can do with it. And I put like I said, I use the blast ideas in more of a grooving context. Let's check it out. All right, had to adjust that. One thing I keep forgetting to do, it's just too much to do with all this stuff, but I was trying to put the red lights on during the lesson part and then switch it up. That's what I forgot earlier, but there we go. I think it kind of brightens up the room a little cool. All right, so let's get into our second blast beat. And I call it the hammer blast. I've heard the hammer blast, but I'm assuming that's what you mean by bomb blast, Serge. Just basically sounds like a bunch of bombs hitting, right? Hola, Fridas. ¿Cómo está? I don't speak a lot of Spanish, so don't type too much in Spanish. I'm going to be like, I only know bad stuff in Spanish. That's what you get for working construction. That's all we do is basically talk smack back and forth to each other. What's up, Fridas? Do you play drums as well, dude? Welcome into the Xgroove live stream. We're here every week doing drum lessons of sorts. Whatever you want to learn, let me know. I'm always demonstrating. I put some stuff together throughout the week, and we kind of go over it on the live streams. And then we do some crazy drumming, have some fun, and just chat. So let's get into our second blast. I'm going to do the same thing as I did before. We're going to reference a thrash beat, right? But this is a downbeat thrash. So instead of playing the, okay, we're gonna play a downbeat where we play. You can see here we have the hi-hat and snare hitting together, and then the bass drum on the upbeat aspect. Okay, so you've heard this before as well in metal, just like the thrash beat, and it goes like this. Okay, so again, I do suggest when learning blast beats to start with thrash beats because they're playing in 8th notes versus 16th notes, and they're a little easier to comprehend at those slower tempos or those slower notes. You know what I mean? The more spaced out notes. Because once you get into the fast stuff, you just kind of, your ear has to catch on, and that's what happens. It takes years of development to get your ear to catch on to these thrash beats and blast beats and know where that downbeat's at. And like I said, I've seen a lot of people playing these, and they get lost in that snare drum when you're playing the traditional blast and stuff like that. So, okay. So if we take that thrash beat, right, putting the hands together, we're just going to jump right over here to, let's get this, to the hammer blast, right? So this is the 8th notes with the snare. You can look at basically everything's playing together here, okay? You have your hi-hat, snare, and kick drum all the way through. And the only difference is, like when we were talking about the traditional blast, how I recommended trying with the single foot. On the hammer blast, that I do not recommend because it's a lot harder to get one side of the body to smack down all at the same time. You'll start getting a lot of flams and uneven playing. So with this one, you can see that we have the 8th note, or alternating kicks, okay? We have our main kick here, which is on the right, and then we have that last line on the staff, which is our left kick, okay? Hope all those red dots aren't confusing. But Photoshop. I love it. I love the Adobe programs, actually. They do a lot of really cool stuff. Okay, so let's check this one out. You've heard this a million times in death metal. It's probably the most common blast beat you hear, even more so than the traditional one, because I think this is easier to follow for yourself. It's just a downbeat, and that snare is so apparent that you're going to follow it. It's not a problem, okay? And we'll even talk about accenting and stuff in a little bit, but let's just play this one real quick. And I think I'm going to pick up the tempo to 193. I've dropped it down to 185 earlier, so. All right, let's check it out. I'm going to play it on, I don't know. We're going to mix it up. Let's try over here, and then I'm going to switch to the ride over here. So we get a little, this is my, you can't see my ride, but I have a big 22-inch ride over here, but it's for jazz. Okay, so pretty straightforward. Your hands, real easy to get together. You can play it a little bit slower. And I do always recommend playing slower when learning stuff just to get your body motion intact and stuff like that. And then we pick up the tempos. But it's a very simple idea to play with. It's very simple to hear, and it's got a cool feel. And if we start accenting a little bit, you can get a little more rhythmatic stuff. And I remember Gene Hoglan talking about that too. He's like, I accent certain things. You get that like 3/4 rhythm. If you just... Okay, so, and basically what I just did at the end of that blast beat is what we're going to move into, and it's referencing the same idea that we did with the traditional blast, right? So we're going to play a 6-stroke roll underneath those blasting 8th notes, okay? This one I think is a little cooler than the traditional blast when doing the 16th notes, because with the traditional blast, you have your hands playing 16th notes. So when your kick drums go in and start, when your kick drums go in there, the blast almost drowns out the kick drums a little bit, right? Because there's so much noise and whatnot, and your snare drums on those 16th notes where your kick drum is. But with the bomb blast or the hammer blast, there's those 8th notes, when you put that kick drum right in between it, it really cuts through, okay? So it's really cool. So let's check this out. Okay, I hope those cut through for you. Maybe actually, I'm going to play it one more time on the ride because the ride's got a little bit more of a ping sound versus the abrasiveness of the hi-hat. Okay, does that make sense though? So you get that little extra cut. We're still doing the same idea as the traditional blast, but you're playing the rhythmatic stuff. Again, if your guitar player's playing, you can follow along with them. And now we're gonna do the same idea and go from that 16th note, or the 6-stroke roll rhythm under the blast beat, and we're gonna drop it into a backbeat groove and really bring it to life. I feel like that's always the coolest thing, is just come from a fast-paced thing and it... Right? Let's try it. I had to go with the kick drums a little fast. Okay. So, like I said, you get a lot of extra ideas when you can keep the foot rhythm and change the hands, okay? Get a lot of cool ideas with the blast beats. And actually, one thing that I kind of skipped from the last blast beat when we're just doing the 8th notes is, instead of the hands being together and how we were doing, you can actually crash the cymbal on the 1 and 3 and let the hand on the snare drum do the blasting like this. Or you can get into a little bit more rhythm with it as well, doing that 3 against 4 idea like we were doing before. Okay, really cool stuff. I like blast beats for that reason. All right. And I think that's it for blast beats. Like, there's so many other variations. Like, this is the basic idea of blast beats, right? We have the traditional, or I kind of call it an upbeat blast because it has the... Okay, so you have that, and then you have the bomb blast. Okay, I think you can get a lot more variations out of the bomb blast because your hands can do different stuff, and actually going kind of into like the Slayer idea. When I first started playing drums, big Slayer and Pantera fan. I used to do a lot of ride cymbal stuff, whereas what Dave Lombardo used to do. Okay, so if you take that idea, let's take the bomb blast idea and how we're going to switch it from the snare, and actually you can get a lot of cool ideas from blast beats by doing this, and this is where you get variations and ideas, and it all kind of flows and mixes and matches with each other. So I'm actually going to push this up a little bit more to the 201 BPMs. Get a little fast, but you get some cool flurries and stuff like that. So what I'll do is, like I said, I'm going to... So and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play the kick drum rhythm like something like. Let's see. Let's come up with something. How about we'll do that. I'm gonna try to hang that because I don't know. It's like a couple of six strokes on the front and back, and with a little bit of 10 stroke. Yeah. Yeah, I think that 10 stroke, yeah. So we're going to do that underneath the blast. And then I'm going to just basically switch the blast to the ride. Okay, so you get some cool ideas with this. Let's check it out. Trying to remember the rhythm. Something like that, but you get the idea, right? So we're basically taking that blast because both your hands can play the. That's the cool thing about that bomb blast, actually, or the hammer blast, is that you can basically go back and forth. And if you really get creative with bouncing back and forth, I mean, in a sense, let's do some double bass, and I'm going to do flam taps with my hands over it. It's kind of like the same idea of blast beats where we're bouncing back and forth, but we're adding a rudimental aspect to it. If you kind of play some groovy kick drum with it, it sounds pretty cool. Let's check it out. Kick drum at the end. Okay, so again, it's kind of playing off that same idea, but we're kind of mixing and matching. We're kind of playing off it, but adding a little flam and idea to it, you know? And like I said, it gets groovy, especially if you want to... So we can kind of do flam taps on the feet. I'm getting into some other stuff now, but I just want to because I like doing it. But let's do flam taps on the feet, and then I'm gonna play like an inverted paradiddle. Too fast right now, I think. How am I going to do that? Hold on. It's tripping me up a little bit. There it was. Okay. A little bit tricky. I got to find the balance. I haven't done that in a long time, but all right. So again, I'm going to play a little bit of variations just to kind of play with the idea, and I'll show you how you can mix and match this stuff and get the cool ideas of... So we'll do a little bit of stuff like that over that bomb blast, and I'll show you where I've developed this style of what I do. Dude, yeah, Arturo, what's up, man? Yeah, bro, I wanted to thank you, bro. I'm doing the live on vertical as well as the long form right now. So, dude, thanks for that. But yeah, dude, and I saw you've been doing the live. You got your live stuff up, and I saw you got your new drum room, bro. It looks freaking killer. Yeah, I've been live streaming for about like the last month or so. And then, yeah, after that little break I had with the shoulder injury and stuff, so we're getting back to it, dude. But yeah, man, your room looks really good, bro. I like it a lot. So let's check this out real quick. I'm going to do these blast beats and show you variations on how you can move between the ride and snare drumming. And I'll actually try to... It's just a really cool idea that you could do, and that's why I think blast beats are actually kind of cool, so... Yeah, I'm trying to see if the verticals, how it's working. It's my second time doing it, but today I'm doing both. I have two streams running at the same time, so that was the interesting aspect. So I got two chats, but so far it seems like everyone's in the long form feed. The short form, I don't know if I got too many people seeing that one so far, or at least nobody's commented. So, but let's check this out real quick. Yeah, but see what I keep forgetting, I gotta set it up is that on my vertical. So if you're watching, I forgot to switch it because I got two of these things going, but kind of having fun at those tempos. Should I push up the tempo a little bit, go a little faster with that? We are at 201 right now. Feeling good today, actually. And then actually at these tempos is where the four pedal stuff really starts to shine. You could do... That's where that stuff really pops and shines, dude. So, again, if you're watching, I don't know if you're on the short feed or the long form. If you have any questions about what I'm doing, leave them in the chat, and I will break down what I'm doing today. We're talking about some blast beats and stuff, so we're having a little fun. It's a really exhilarating style of drumming metal. I think it really keeps you lively and whatnot, and you get some really cool ideas out of it. Start mixing accents and dynamics and such. So, All right, let's push the tempo up anyway. I'm going to go to maybe like 208 because that starts getting pretty heavy with the kicks, okay? Oh, damn. Oh, damn, Arturo. Thank you, man. I was curious. I was like, what's going on with the short, man? Is it even getting out into the feed? When I add, I can only see. Really? Oh, hang on. I got you. Oh, that's what's going on. Well, I think because you know what? Because I changed my camera view a little bit yesterday. Right there. How's that? Yeah, dude, because I changed that vertical one's hard to kind of situate, but I changed my camera view and brought it up a little bit higher because you can't see the thing like that. There you go. All right. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that a lot, actually. So let's check this out. I'm going to play this at 208 real quick and see what we can do. Yeah, that's pushing them tempos, man. I can feel my feet locking up. I don't on a regular play death metal, though, because it's a lot of work on the feet and a lot of maintenance on speed. I prefer slower, not slower, but like shorter bursts of tempo, flurries and such. So, actually, I forgot one thing. I got to play a cowbell beat for somebody real quick, but we're going to use paradiddles on the feet. In an offbeat motion, or an offbeat paradiddle, so we're getting a little bit of a samba, and I'm going to try to kind of... Right, so the pattern goes like this. Oh, no. Had to get that one out. I haven't used a cowbell in so long. I just set this thing up just the other day. And again, too many things. I forgot to turn the notes on my long form feed off right there. So. All right, we're reaching the end of the live stream. I should go about an hour in. Otherwise, I'm going to get some tendonitis flaring up over here on my feet with all this 4-pedal stuff. I don't know. It's hard to not push because when I get to these faster tempos, you really start getting some cool stuff with that 4-pedal stuff. Actually, I'll do one last thing. I'm actually using a flammed mill. If you don't know the flam mill pattern, it basically goes like this. It's almost like a backwards flamadiddle. Okay, so we're going to do that on the feet like this with the 4 pedals. And then I'm going to play some, let's go for that Latin-y sound again. Let's play some cowbell, you know. I need to get a little Christopher Walken meme popping up when he plays some cowbell. All right, man. I love the 4-pedal stuff. We're going to get more into that with some other live streams. We're going to start getting more into the demonstration of that. I have the basic concept of what I do on the 4 pedals. I will maybe get into that next week. I think that'd be a kind of a cool one if you guys want. Let me know. I'm going to leave another community post out this week, and you let me know what you want me to cover in the next live stream. I'm all for you, and if we've already covered it, I'll cover it again. But I love double bass. I love 4-pedal stuff. I love pushing boundaries and testing your own limits and such, and that's what this is about. It's not about what I can do. It's not about like what the other drummers can do. It's about what you could do for yourself and pushing your own boundaries and seeing how far you could take this instrument, and that's what this is about. And it's fun to get creative and musical with it, okay? So, once again, I want to thank everyone for coming out and checking out the live stream. I appreciate all the likes. Subscribe to the channel if you like what you're seeing. I appreciate it. It really helps the channel grow. And Serge, I want to thank you for coming out. You're always there every week. Appreciate it, man. Friedis, thanks for joining in. And Arturo, as always, man, I appreciate it, dude. And thanks again for the recommendation on the vertical live stream, dude. Appreciate it a lot. I'm going to reach out to you later, dude. But again, thanks a lot, everyone. And I will see you next Thursday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next week.